Hey everybody, welcome back to Laptop Seniors. Today we're going to go through Tocumen Airport, PTY, that's the airport code of course for Panama City, Panama. Now we're kind of assuming for this that you've never been there. You've never been to Panama, it's a totally different country, first time, what's going on, what am I going to deal with, and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to show you the airport, we're going to walk through it. It's a really big, modern, beautiful airport. Way bigger than it should be, you know, kind of in a country the size of Panama, but obviously they're planning for the future. And it's a spectacular airport, actually. But what we're going to do is we're going to show you the airport, you get an idea of what it's like, and also how to get into the city, what things cost, what you can do, where you go to take a bus, where to get a taxi, Uber, you know how much they're going to charge you, all that sort of stuff. And of course, how do you get the subway? There's a subway that goes from the airport into the city, and we will tell you all about that. So that's where we're going. Now, first we're going to start with buses. We're going to want to catch a bus. But before that, it really has to do with what terminal, because there's two, what terminal do you land at?
Well, if Panama City is not your final destination and you're catching another flight and you land at Terminal 1, the thing you need to do is possibly go to Terminal 2 to catch your next flight. Between gate 103 and 106 is where the terminal pickup is at Terminal 1. So that is if you want to go from Terminal 1 to Terminal 2.
Now you might come in at Terminal 2, you may land there, but you need to get to Terminal 1 for a lot of different reasons which we'll go into. One of them is you want to take a bus into the city, okay, because the public bus is going in. Here's how you take the shuttle bus from 2 to Terminal 1. You walk out of the gate, the door closes behind you, you're sitting on a sidewalk, you're outside the terminal, you look down the terminal, there's numbers, look for 209, which is going to be all the way down at the end. You go down to the end, there'll be a bus waiting there, or if it's not there, just wait for the bus to show up. They come around about every 10 minutes. Get on the bus and ride over to Terminal 1, because Terminal 1 is where pretty much most of the action leaving the airport starts from there pretty much. Especially the public buses, they only run from Terminal 1.
The E489 bus leaves from Terminal 1 at the airport and it takes you to Pedregal Metro Station in Panama City.
Yes, there's a bus station there right next to the metro, they're kind of combined.
This bus goes about every 15 minutes, which is great, not a long wait at all. And the fare for this bus is only 25 cents.
That's amazing.
Or it's $1.25 for the express bus. And I guess, what do? They go through red lights so you get there faster? I mean, I don't know.
I'm guessing they stop less, yeah.
From Terminal 1, you're going to go to Zone 6, and that's where you will pick up the bus, or it will pick you up and take you to Pedregal Station.
Yeah, now one thing that's really important, because I guess a lot of people get confused on this, when you come out that door from the terminal, you're on the sidewalk and there's a road in front of you. For the bus downtown, do not cross the road, because that bus is going to come right up on that road, and that's where you're going to get on it with your luggage and things like that.
Obviously, the cabs are coming along the front of the station where the buses are, and you can grab a cab there, a yellow cab if you like. But if you want to do a ride share, like Uber or one of the other ones available, you actually need to go across the road and go into the parking lot between rows 15 and 18, and that is the rideshare pickup point.
Yeah, and I'll just kind of throw this out to you right at the moment. If this is your first time in Panama, I wouldn't bother with the bus. I know it's infinitely cheaper, because a cab is going to, or an Uber, either one of them is going to cost you probably somewhere around $35 to $40, somewhere in that range for a big car, okay? A bigger one with, if there's 3 of you.
For lots of luggage.
Yeah. And if it's one of those small little cars, it's going to be about $25, somewhere in there. Now, here's a suggestion. I think this is what I would do. I would, even if you don't use it, I would run it on an Uber where you can actually see it on your phone. We do this, okay? I'll get there, or I'll even do it ahead of time. I'll do it before we even get on the plane. I'll land with a snapshot of it on my phone, there's an Uber from the airport to where I want to go in the city. Okay, just like you're going to tell a cab driver. And there'll be a price on it. There'll be a price for a small car, and then there'll be a price for that comfort thing. And I'm showing you one right now as an example. See where it says like comfort, $38 on this thing? If you want to take the cab and you don't want to give an Uber, because people will be coming up to you and at the kiosks and stuff, they'll be, okay, hey, take you into the city. Well, how much? $50.
Just like most airports.
Yeah, no. And then throw something out like 35, okay? And they're going to, 35, no, we can't do that. Yeah, I can get an Uber. You show them the phone, I can get an Uber for 38 right now. If you want to come in a little bit less than that, and then they'll walk away, they'll turn around and they'll come back and they'll go, okay. And they'll call somebody up, and somebody will have a van or something. You'll get in the taxi, which is totally fine. They're totally safe, and they'll drive you in to where you want to go. So, I mean, that's my advice. I would never bother with the bus unless you've been to the airport a whole bunch of times.
To the city, yeah. I mean,
not your first time.
You're landing in a foreign city. You might be looking at a map and it looks straightforward, but it's never 100% clear. You're totally safe here in Panama, but just get your bearings, be dropped off right at your hotel, and then if you want to, on the way back when you're leaving, or maybe you're staying, right? But on the way back, you can consider the subway and the bus. Then it'll be a lot less expensive, but you'll be more comfortable.
Now, if you don't have much luggage, I mean, you could take the subway. The subway's not going to be a big deal, really, coming from the airport in. But you sort of would want to, again, I wouldn't do it. I would definitely consider taking a subway to the airport after you've spent a week or two and you have an idea of the surroundings. You're probably going to be going into right downtown core, and you may be going to a hotel that's in El Congrejo, okay, which will be great because you can go to the Argentina stop via Argentina, that's on the subway, line 1, or the Iglesia de Carmen, okay, and that's the big, awesome church. There's a subway stop right there. And in between, basically, is El Congrejo, and a whole bunch of hotels. There's a Marriott right there. There's a Crown Plaza. There's 2 or 3 other hotels that are within like a block and a half. Not a big deal to drag your luggage. But then there's other hotels where you're in a ways, and I don't know if I would be wanting to do that necessarily.
And sometimes the sidewalks are not really that flat and level, and it could be a little tricky dragging your suitcase on some streets.
Yeah, now for the metro, the cost of a metro, just like the bus is cheap, the metro is also cheap. It's 85 cents. You heard me right. 85 cents to get from the airport into the city, like into El Congrejo on the subway, or going the opposite way. Now, you can pay the 85 cents and you can do it at the kiosk and you'll probably get a ticket or stuff. Or you may already have, because you've been in the city, or maybe you've been there before and you've never taken the subway, you can get a subway card, the Metro card, which is good for the subways, buses, pretty much all the public transportation, and they look like this. Like, this is what a card looks like. They're $2. And you can get them out of the machines. You can get them by walking up to like a kiosk inside any of the subways inside. When you have
the card itself is $2, and then you load it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't put any more than $5 on, because that you can tell. If you've got a half-hour ride to the airport, is only 85 cents. I mean, it'll take you a while. A lot of subway rides to burn up $5 because everything is super cheap.
But also, Ubers are very inexpensive there in Panama City. So,
yeah,
tooting around the city, going from one side to the other, it could be as little as $2.85.
It's a pretty easy ride on the subway coming in or out. There's only 2 transfers. You get on Metro line, if you're going out, if you're in the city and you're going back to the airport, this is the way it would go. If not, just reverse this. You get on the Metro on line 1. Again, if you're in El Congrejo at Iglesia del Carmen or via Argentina, either one of those stations, and you head north to Via Zaita.
And you transfer at San Miguelito to line 2, heading towards Nuevo Tocumen. Actually, there's no other way to go from here, as it's the end of line 2.
Then you transfer that last time at Corredor Sur, which is the south corridor, and head towards the airport. you know, you're not going to be able to miss the airport. It's the last stop. And they go to the airport in about 10 minutes.
All in all, it would be about an hour or less, depending on how busy it is.
Yeah, yeah. So that's how you get to the airport or leave from the airport and get into the city, and let's take you through the airport itself.
It sure doesn't look like that Mexico City airport that's jammed with people. Very organized. These are the check-in bag drop kiosks.
This is Terminal 2 at Tocumen Airport in Panama City. Oh, no, no. This is a big, beautiful airport. It really is. They put a lot of money into here, and it's clearly, as you can see, really, really new. And large for its size, for the size of the country. And the number of flights, obviously they're expecting this to grow. And cool sign. Backwards, but still a cool sign. Okay. Goes a long ways that way, and it's going to be going a long ways that way. And again, this is Terminal 2.
And this terminal, this airport has, as you can see, lots of wide open spaces. Even though there are plenty of people here, it does not look or feel crowded at all. There was not a long line anywhere at this point, but we are early for the flight.
Yeah, no, we went through the, you know, you got to take everything out of your bag and go do all that stuff and wait. I think we went through there in, I don't know, 5 minutes, maybe. It's funny, they're adamant about not filming anywhere near down there, but yet from up here you can totally film away. I'm going to take you into the Copa Lounge now. Copa Lounge in this particular airport is spectacular. It really is. This is one of the best lounges that we have ever been in. The only downside to this, and maybe it's just the times that we happen to be there, usually almost always for morning flights. And the only reason we do it is because it comes with my credit card. You know, it's one of the only perk really that the card gives us that we end up using, but it comes in handy. But if you don't have the card, it's $40 to come into this lounge per person, American money, which is pretty darn expensive, really. And in most other lounges, they don't look anything as pretty as this. But they have food, so for breakfast time, they'll have breakfast for you. And, you know, a lot of times somebody will be sitting there making omelets or something and actually make something, or you'll have a lot of choice. Here, every time we have been here for breakfast, you know, we're flying early, all they usually have is like cornflakes, bread, tiny little bit of fruit choice, and oatmeal. That's it. So, you know, it's like, how much does that cost? Like maybe $3? I don't know if the seats to be able to sit there for an hour is kind of worth $80. And maybe, you know what, for lunch and dinner, maybe they actually have normal meals.
Pretty spectacular. I wish all airports were like this here.
All right, waiting for the plane, going to Colombia.
Hopefully this prepares you a little bit better for landing in Panama City at Tocumen Airport, and have a fantastic time. We know you're going to love it. Also, if you found this helpful, and we hope you did,
Yeah, really.
be sure to give us a thumbs up, a like, and if you haven't yet, it really helps our channel if you would subscribe and hit that notification bell. So many more videos to come. We just need a few elves to come in and help us with the editing to get them out to you.
Yeah, it's true. Big time, yeah. So thanks for watching. We really, really do appreciate it. Until the next time.
Come back and see us again soon. Bye for now.